So a lot of us spend our lives looking for permission, right? Or, at least I do, you're constantly checking with everyone else. Is this okay? What should I do here? You're taught to look outside for all the answers. But what if there's a simpler way to operate? I recently watched a video on this sort of loop you can run for yourself. It's got 4 parts: knowing yourself, trusting yourself, expressing yourself, and then, well, loving yourself. And it starts a whole positive feedback thing. The first part is know thyself. And I know, that sounds super trite and overdone at this point. But it's not about some big philosophical quest. It's more like archaeology. You're digging up the person you were before the world told you who to be. Think about it. Were you really ambitious before someone told you to just be grateful? Or super opinionated before you were told to be quiet? You got to reconnect with that kid, right? A good way to do this is to literally just write that question down. Who was I before the world told me who to be? And just see what comes out. It gives you a real map of what you actually want, not what you're supposed to want. Once you have that map, you have to actually trust it. This is the hard part for a lot of people, especially me. It's about listening to your gut. That little pull you feel towards something, even when it makes zero logical sense. We're so trained to ignore that. You ask your friends, your parents, some random dude on Reddit for their opinion, and it just clouds everything. The way to get better at this is to start small. Really small. Your body tells you you're thirsty. Get up and get a drink. Right now. Don't put it off. You're on a date and get a weird vibe. Just, trust it. You don't need a spreadsheet to justify it. You have to stop ignoring that voice that says, I knew it after the fact. Just listen to it the first time. Step 3 is where it gets fun. Express yourself. This is where you actually do something. And it doesn't have to be, painting a masterpiece or whatever. It can be super small. The person I heard this idea from talked about adding berries to her cereal. And at first you're like, how the fuck is that self-expression? But it is. It's this tiny little act that says, I'm worth having something nice. It's about consciously putting little moments of joy or, it's more like elegance even into your day. Or laying out your gym clothes the night before. It seems silly, but it's a small action that tells yourself, I am worth the effort. It's about turning your internal values into a physical reality, even in tiny ways. And all this leads to the last step, loving yourself. And look, I hate this saying, not because it's bad advice or anything. It's just so overdone at this point. And I feel like the whole self-help or spirituality community has kind of ruined the term for me. I don't know. In this context, I'm not saying it as some fluffy, feel-good mantra. It's just a direct result of the other steps. When you're consistently acting like the person you want to be, you start to respect that person. You see them in the mirror, and you recognise them again. You admire yourself. And this is the cool part. That respect, that love, it kicks the whole cycle off again. You start thinking, okay, I did that. What else can I do? And you want to know yourself even better. You get more curious. It's this upward spiral. A side effect, by the way, is that your tolerance for bullshit goes way, way down. Your boundaries get sharper. And that's a good thing. It's not selfish, it's necessary. Let me know what you think, and if there's any other ways to think about this instead of just a 4-step process. Maybe there are more steps to add. I don't know.